The code is here for you to go through it and sort of look at it and play with it. And then I'm also sending you this mathtables.java. And this one just puts the format for what you're going to do for this problem. So again, this exercise is really just about using tables. So you don't have to understand the math behind it. So the first thing is you have your main method. And inside the main method, you're just going to print a name, the common log table, addition table, trig table, and then you're going to call the print trig table, you're going to call the print addition table, and you're going to call the print common log table. So this code right now, I have it set up structurally, but there's not the right information in it. So right, common log table has nothing in it yet. So all you're going to do is you're going to use a while loop for this method. And don't forget, you have over here, we have over here printing a log table. So all you have to do is look at the requirements of the exercise. So I'm flipping my book page right now. And it says, gives me some hints. So it gives the formula of, that wants a log of a certain number, but it's divided by log of 10. So all you're going to do is you're going to go into this. So this one's doing math log of f of x. And so you can do it of I if you want. So all you're doing is you're going to alter this to print, and you're going to put the division below it. So that's not going to be a hard change. You're going to divide it by math.log of 10. So all of this is the code that you need. And it needs to be in a while loop, so it's all good. You can keep it as x if you want, or you can change the variable. It doesn't matter, but you're going to use this code in order to do the print common log table. And don't forget, it's on page 75 of your book, and you need to put the division in there, and that's all you're doing. So that's the first one. The print addition table, you're going to do an addition table. If I were you, I would go back over to my code and say, wow, wait a minute. And it says in the addition one that you need to use for loops. And so if you notice that when we did our print table any size, these are for loops. And so we have our method that's going to print the table, and then we have our helper method. And so this one wants it from 0 to 12, so you don't have to send the print. You can use this and you can alter it, but notice that in here we're using multiplication, and you're doing an addition table, so you're going to change it so that it's addition. So it's going to be a quick, easy fix. Use your existing code. So that's that particular one. And then you're going to print trig tables. And I did a little coding in here for you just to help you with the setup. So you can use either a for loop or you can use a while loop. I put in a for loop here for you, and I commented out this code. So when you're ready to add this other stuff in, just delete out the comment marks. Watch what happens when I delete those out. See how it turns black? It's not going to like this. It's giving me an error message because I don't have the code on the inside. So I'm just going to comment it back again. But do you see right here? So this is how you do the math sign, because it says you need to convert. So some of the things that you need to look at when you're doing the tables is it always will tell you, so it wants you to do something that says between 0 and 360, and it wants you to increment by 30 degrees. So if you're doing a for loop, so if it's between 0 and 360, so I'm going to start I off at 0, and then I want it to go all the way up to less than or equal to 360. So that shows the range that they want us to use. And then this is the increment. They want to increment by 30 degrees. And so this is where I say, okay, now I is going to be equal to I plus 30. So that's going to increment by 30. So the first line of code here, okay, I want to print, and it's print, not print line, because I'm going to stay on the exact same line of code. And so I'm just going to print whatever I is, and then I'm going to tab over. The next line is also a print statement, and this is going to be the math sign. And it says up here you need to convert to radians. And so I'm taking my I, which we know is degrees, and I'm going to multiply it by math pi, so times math pi, and then divide it by 180. So that's going to give me the sign of it's converting in here degrees to radians. I could have, if I wanted to, done a separate line of code. That would have been fine to do. I could have, radians equals, and then I would have I times, but I just did it all right in here. And then I'm going to tab over one because this is going to, I'm creating the columns because I need to have the sine, and then I need to have a column for cosine and the column for tangent. So you're going to essentially basically copy this code and just modify it. Instead of sine, you're going to have it be cosine. And then you're going to do another line instead of sine or cosine, you're going to do tangent. So you can type that stuff in here, you can copy and paste. But the one other thing I want you to notice is that this says print line instead of print, because look, when I run my code here, so I can see it's incrementing. I got 0, I have 30, I have 60, I have 90, 120. So it's doing the right thing, but you see how it's printing it across? 150, 180. So it's going across. And the reason it's doing that is because it's a print statement. And that's because I'm trying to create columns, right? So I'm trying to say, okay, the first column is the degrees, then I have the sine, and then I have to have a column for cosine and a column for tangent. And because I need to have that, this is going to print it in that way. So it's just a formatting thing. It's a little bit easier to go in this way. So once you do that, you will have everything you need to do this exercise. And once this exercise is done, you'll be able to move on to your next exercise.